Gamercast Network.
Hey! Alright. It's a video game show. It's a video game show. It's not a game show about videos. It's a video game show.
And welcome to Gamercast Network Video Game Show, episode number 42 for Friday, June 15th, 2007. I'm Chad. And for introducing the crew tonight, Tom, did you have a question for them?
Does being a fan of sci-fi cause BO, or does having BO cause you to like sci-fi? Which is it? Keith?
I would say having BO causes you to like sci-fi.
Interesting take on that. Ivan?
I think liking sci-fi causes you to have BO, because you get all worked up about defending why Captain Picard is cooler than Captain Kirk, which causes you to perspire.
Bob?
Wow, that's a tough one. If you had body odor, then you'd have to stay inside from other... Well, it depends. Does your body odor offend you?
I am going to assume in this situation that I am envisioning that the answer would be no.
That's what I would assume. Okay. So in that case, you wouldn't be aware of the reason people were avoiding you. Okay, so that would prohibit the theory that you stay inside all day because you don't think anyone likes you. Okay, so I think in that case then that staying inside all day watching sci-fi would cause one to have body odor rather than the converse case.
Go ahead, Chad. Chad's the real authority on this question. Chad, what's the definitive answer?
Why would I have a definitive answer? Why you,
Apparently you have BO, and you like sci-fi.
I don't think I have BO. How...
Well, no, you just, you ran in those circles for a while. You know those things.
Well, see, if you have BO, you're probably not going to have many friends.
Yeah.
And you're going to want to be very
All right.
fanciful and make up people and things like that. So when you think of fantasy and making up crap, well, you tend to be sci-fi-ish usually, or unless you like, your fantasy and you have your little elves and whatnot. So I'm going to have to go having BO probably caused you to like sci-fi.
Interesting logic. Okay, very good.
And in Gamercast Network community news, go check out Uncle Gamer Radio's NCAA 08 Community Day coverage featuring JVB from Podtacular, Feels Good from Gamertag Radio, and Tony Hines from Microsoft. Also, go check out Podtacular episode number 116 with all kinds of interviews featuring folks from Tide the Leader, Too Old to Play, and Halo Unyielding. And go check out Gamertag Radio episode number 104. Also, be on the lookout for a big announcement from Gamertag Radio in the near future. Finally, a reminder about our Age of Mythology PC game giveaway. All you have to do to enter is send us an audio question by Skype at Video Game Show or call us at 320-300-GAME. That is a standard long-distance call and all normal fees apply. The deadline is midnight, Thursday, June 21st. Make sure in your question you leave us a way to contact you.
Next topic.
So, the poll question for this week was, all companies that develop MMOs should follow CCP's lead in allowing a group of players that are elected by the community to come into their offices and make sure all the employees are not cheating. Everything's on the up and up.
By the way, I think that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. If you come into my office, what are you going to see? If you go into a developer's office, what do you think you're going to see? You're going to see his PC sitting on his desk. And what are you going to learn from that? What exactly are you going to glean from your investigation of his office? You think a studio is going to allow anyone to go through a PC, perhaps take a copy of the hard drive, looking for, here's some kind of database transaction? If it's a public relations move, something to bring in members of their community to appease them over this developer pulling whatever shenanigans he did, fine, it's a PR move. But it's a completely meaningless as an oversight move.
Well, I think one of the issues here was that the guy who outed the developer who worked for CCP, the whistleblower, he hacked into forums, he did IP scans and all kinds of log trafficking, all kinds of things that broke the EULA. So he was kicked out of EVE, and he has not been reinstated at all.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, that might be one of the issues here is that the community feels that this guy probably should not have been banned or been brought back on once the outing was done.
He was breaking the EULA, so, if he would have just went to somebody and said that and didn't try to be all slick and MacGyver about it, he could have been fine. It was his own damn fault.
Well, you know what a lot of these guys do? So a lot of these guys who are really smart, who have the tenacity to do things like, sniffing packets or hacking forum sites in order to get all the information that they need. Then once they get that, they go publicly and go, look what I have, look at what a travesty this is, instead of doing what would be probably the proper thing to do, which is put it together in a nice presentation and, contact a representative of the company and say, here's the evidence that I found, and if he kept it quiet, then he wouldn't have probably been banned. It's just these guys that do that, they make these incredible presentations afterwards.
If he was intelligent about it, he could have blew the whistle and not gotten in trouble. But
I don't
he wants to come through in a giant grand thing, and it's his own damn fault.
Well, let's turn to our poll results here in that. What do our listeners think about if all companies that develop MMOs should follow this lead and have a player-based oversight committee? 10% said no. The company itself, CCP, is going overboard as it is. 30% said yes, all MMO companies should be doing this, and 60% said yes, but only in cases where there is prior evidence of employee in-game cheating. Do we have anything else you want to say on this?
I think we pretty much summed it up. We've pretty much said how we feel.
Have we all said how we feel?
I have. I don't really care.
I don't feel.
Next topic.
So Sony now has a blog for their higher-ups to impart their wisdom on the...
What do you mean higher-ups? Is David Cracker on there?
Yes, David Cracker.
Jack
All right,
Fran-
well, I might go visit just because of Cracker.
Okay, first off, they're very PR'd up. However, some of them do say some logical things. It's kind of this whole new initiative they have post-GDC where they're actually making sense.
New initiative, be logical.
But if it's all corporate speak, then it's not a blog. It's just a new vector for press releases.
Wait. Why would you start jumping on Sony for doing that when every other company already does the same thing? You can't single Sony out like, oh, look at them doing the song and dance. Microsoft.
Because no. First of all, no, Microsoft doesn't do that. Because look at all the developers that have Microsoft blogs. Look at all. Not only do groups have blogs, but individuals have official Microsoft.
You're telling me it's not a PR.
Microsoft has a blog, but it's not done by the president and CEO of Microsoft.
But there's also individual developers in Microsoft who have blogs through Microsoft's official blogging portal.
I just don't understand why you came out of the gates attacking it for being nothing but a PR shill when it's pretty much that's how the exact same thing started for Microsoft.
Wait, attacking it? What I
You came out of the gate saying it was
wait, shut up, let me get my thoughts straight here.
Tom, I'm letting you know this right now. I'm
just
letting you know this right now.
Shut up.
The next time I see you, I am punching you in the chest as hard as I possibly can. And you have my word of honor on that. I am going to blast you and cave in your chest. But you may have.
So they look at something like Gamerscore blog or something like Major Nelson's blog, and they're like, okay, it's working for them, let's steal it. Which is fine, but let's call it for what it is. Again, the question is, are they even executing it well?
They're more along the lines of saying things like, yes, we know we don't have the games out there. That was in Tretton's one. Tretton's thing is like saying, okay, we're now focused on trying to get better games out there for the PlayStation 3. And he didn't really bring up anything about Blu-ray. Crackers was along the same lines. He was basically talking about, developers saying the PS3 is hard to develop for, those kind of things. He made a comparison there saying, we know that the PSN network is not Xbox Live. It's not there yet. We know we need to do work to make it better. Those kind of things are what they're saying on their blog so far.
So that's interesting. Now, here's what makes me think then. So now that Kudarami is out, I wonder if he was trying to control the communication. I wonder if he was the one really responsible for wanting to put out this message that Sony had nothing to worry about, that no one else was in their class. Now that he's gone, this gives Sony a chance to remake their messaging. And I wonder if this is like a step in that direction. This is the first time I heard him ever say anything about the PS3 that wasn't claiming that it was on some pedestal for all of us to adore and work extra hours to afford and all those kind of things.
Well, are they? But here's another issue here is that, fine, they're doing all this great messaging and everything, but you know what? Stop that and just make some games. I could care less about all their talk. I really want games for the PlayStation 3. I want to buy a PlayStation 3, but I'm not going to buy one because there's no games. I'd rather have them less concerned with their market appearance and get actual content out there. Sorry, just throwing that out there.
No, you're right. They could turn their whole bad marketing image around by just releasing 24 outstanding games. Everyone would forget if everyone's busy playing games.
Yeah, let's not shoot the moon here. 24's a lot. Let's just say 3 or 4.
Say 1.
Next topic.
Warhammer here, people. Tell me why I should care about this Warhammer MMO.
Because I think Warhammer is easily the coolest background for a game, and they have cool orcs and not cartoony orcs like Warcraft.
Is that pretty much the only reason you're looking at the Warhammer one, was just for the
background and the fact that I could be a goblin? Yeah, pretty much those two things.
I'm with Keith. I'm with Warhammer based on reputation alone.
I'm sure whatever it is they're going to do and come up with is going to be a good system, and Bob can be a big, giant, two-sword wielding orc, and I'll run behind him with my little goblin.
And we will be an unstoppable duo.
And we will be very happy in slaughtering things for a long time.
So you really haven't looked at all in terms of what's differentiating Warhammer.
In all honesty, the thing is, at this point in time, what game is not going to be very similar to World of Warcraft? The only reason you're really going to be switching around games is because you want to see a new world, or you want to start from scratch, or something along those lines.
Watching one of their video casts, a lot of the stuff I think that's going to differentiate them from World of Warcraft is in terms of their PvP and RVR, or whatever they're calling it. Are you a big fan of doing the RVR?
No. The only thing we've ever wanted from an MMO is to not have the DM ever again.
Yeah,
we just want to do our stupid tabletop stuff online, and none of us have to DM.
I just want a big world for me to run around and stab things in. And I'm willing to bank money on the fact the PvE game is pretty much going to be like Warcraft, just in a Warhammer setting, which is fine by me.
And the big news this week with Warhammer was that I guess there have been over 200,000 signups to the beta.
Well, I think that the people, and then not just us, are interested, because at this point, a lot of people have maxed out their Warcraft guys and they're looking for something new. People that have played any of the Warhammers or the Warhammer 40,000 games that I know of, aside from Tom, they've all liked them. But even Tom says that the story in them all is good. So I could see people as going to this as an alternative to WoW, because WoW may be getting old and stale for them.
Okay, Tom and Ivan here, you guys haven't chimed in. Would you be looking forward to playing in a Warhammer MMO?
I've never played anything in the Warhammer universe, so I'm not against it. If everyone else plays it and says it's great, I might try it, but I can't say I'm looking forward to it.
And Tom?
I've only played 2 MMOs, and both MMOs I played, I only played because everyone else was there. You know, if Keith and Bob go over there and they're spending all their time there, then yeah, I'm sure I'll eventually create an account. But if not, then no. This doesn't sound like anything that I'd want to try, and I think it's just because I'm not really an MMO fan.
Personally, I like MMOs because they're gigantic. You can just be like, I'm going to go wander over here and run over there and kill things. To me, it's no different killing things in that game as opposed to any other game. I just like the fantasy settings for the most part, and I just want to be an orc, a cool orc with a stick, zap things, big world. I'm happy. I have simple gaming needs. How's that?
Yeah, see, and whereas my gaming needs is I want to make people feel bad. I want to humiliate people and make them angry at the internet. And that's why I like first-person shooters and RTS games.
Because that's your best bet of doing
Because I
it?
get a lot of immediate feedback of making people angry.
Next topic.
There are 3 major things for Second Life of this last week. The first one is that the Playboy company is now finally in Second Life. There is a virtual Playboy mansion you can go to and buy your Playboy branded Second Life whatever and watch videos and that kind of stuff.
You mean you can log on to the internet and go into the game to watch porn?
That's like one step too many.
Isn't that like
removed?
adding a middleman where no middleman is necessary?
Well, now when they check where you've gone, it's just like you've only been playing Second Life for 8 hours straight.
Yeah.
Second
You haven't been looking at porn for 8 hours
Allowed
straight.
to have porn on their computers.
The other major thing this week is, I guess, in the new client they're developing for Second Life, they're going to get in-game voice chats.
Oh, good.
So now you
Thank
can hear
God.
the manly voice of that 16-year-old prostitute.
They're going to have 3 modes. They're going to have one-on-one, and then your group chat, and they're also going to have proximity-based. So you're going to hear people who are near you.
Oh, so that means you can stand there and yell?
Yes.
Buy our shirts! Buy our shirts! Buy Donkey Show! Donkey Show! It's just going to be like a carnival.
Do you need gold? Do you need gold? It's Warcraft.
And the last Second Life story here, it doesn't make any sense to me. 6 weeks ago, a British couple was on holiday in Portugal with their 4-year-old little girl. And one day they left the little girl in their apartment they were renting and decided to go down the street, only like a couple hundred feet away, and have a meal. While they're eating the meal, the little girl was kidnapped. And now the British police are putting up missing posters in Second Life.
You know what? If he said that about World of Warcraft, I'd buy it as a viable excuse.
Yeah, but people who play World of Warcraft never leave their house, so how would they know if they've seen the girl?
Hell, half the time they don't even know where their own kids are.
Good point.
Is this really the way to go? Online gaming? We have a whole segment on this show dedicated to what happens when online gamers have children. Just saying. I'll give you a hint. It doesn't end well.
But no one plays Second Life. Why do they continuously do this?
Someone today put a list out of the top 10 MMOs or top massively multiplayer things. Not necessarily a game. Second Life came in at spot number 10 with 400,000 to 500,000 per month return users.
And probably 300,000 of those are companies.
They include Poker Stars or something in there? Because I would almost include that as a mega.
That's an online. That's
Yeah,
an online thing, I would say. Yeah.
I didn't believe their numbers because they didn't actually put MapleStory in there or anything. Number one, obviously, is World of Warcraft, and then number two, they had some sort of it's like a MySpace kind of thing in Norway. Habbo Hotel. They claim has 7.5 million active users.
Oh yeah, and you get a little avatar in a Flash-based interface. I've heard of this. Yeah.
7 million? Isn't there only 7 million people in Norway?
www.wiki.
Norway.de.
Wiki. Oh, I hate you, Sean.
You're going to get your numbers from Wikipedia. All right.
Then soon there will be 15 people in Norway. Let me just go ahead and fix this right here. I haven't done that in a while. I wonder how long it'll take them to fix it. Hold on. Demography. As of 2005, Norway's population of 12 is growing by 0.37% each year. Most Norwegians are...
Oh, please, God, so you aren't actually editing this page.
Send us a link.
No, I don't. This is why Wikipedia is not a reliable source of information. The best part.
Norwegians are gnomes.
I so hope some kid is doing a report on Norway that's due tomorrow, even though tomorrow's Saturday. I just hope.
Yeah, they usually get edited within about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I wonder if this will stay up by the end of the show.
They alert whoever the head gnome is for this page.
Most Norwegians
it's been
are gnomes, a Nordic, North Germanic people, while a small minority in the north are poor and dirty. The Sami are considered indigenous people and traditionally live in the central and northern parts of Maenus, as well as northern Finland and Russia and the Kola Peninsula.
Yes, Wikipedia griefing brought to you by the Video Game Show.
Next topic.
Okay, so 3D Realms, non-maker of things, Duke Nukem Forever, is going to have a big announcement for E3, and it's not about Duke Nukem Forever.
Wait, let me guess. Dig Dug 2000 is going to be coming out next year.
Dig Dug with random levels? I thought we already had random levels. Sorry, it was a joke about the whole gamertag radio thing this week. And
I actually played the Pac-Man game. The announcement of Pac-Man would not shake the video game industry to its core. It is a pretty fun game.
my only comments to what Aaron has said on Gamertag Radio, and if you didn't listen to that episode of Gamertag Radio, Aaron said that he believed that this was such an epic event in history, and really what it is, it's a footnote in the history of Pac-Man. It's something that's going to be on the Wikipedia page.
For Bob to change.
For Bob to change.
not for long.
But really, it's titles like Pac-Man don't drive gamers' passions today. I mean, it's not here's a good example is always a new generation of 12-year-olds and 13-year-olds who are discovering Led Zeppelin for the first time, and they'll go through their phase where they really like Led Zeppelin. And there's nothing comparable to that in the video games, where no one wants to look backwards on gaming. Everyone's always concentrated on looking forwards in gaming. And that's why this announcement of Pac-Man, that just doesn't drive gamers' sakes, especially gamers on the Xbox.
Yeah, I don't understand this infatuation with old school gaming, to tell you honest to God truth. I have the same experience I think all of us have. Anytime you go back and play Pac-Man or Joust or Dig Dug or one of these games that you thought was so sweet back when you had it on your Atari or whatever,
it doesn't quite live up, does it?
No, it's never. It's like going back and watching Transformers the movie from 1986. You oh my God, this was so sweet, and then you turn on and this is the biggest pile of I've ever seen in my entire life.
I have issues when they just bring the retro ports out directly, like they did Xevious and Russian Attack and Double Dragon. They didn't change anything. They're still Xevious, Double Dragon, and Russian Attack. But whereas with the Prince of Persia, the classic remake, it was very well done. Then again, I am a huge Prince of Persia fan, so take that with a grain of salt.
No, because it's the
sand.
Because it's in Persia. with sand.
Persia's an aquatic nation. Go to Wikipedia and look.
Persia has been submerged since the late 7th century.
They neighbor Atlantis.
The controversy, at least with Pac-Man, and the way Aaron described it, was one, it was this large announcement, and two, it was some skunk work project that they've been working on for 12 months, and it was super secret, and they had a code name for it. And how that comes off to gamers is that Aaron came off looking ridiculous. You know, you're supposed to be a PR director, and you're so disconnected with gaming that you think that this version of Pac-Man is a monumental milestone in gaming.
Yeah, but we've heard that before, that some of these marketing people aren't hooked in with the gaming scene.
Yeah, and I felt bad for Godfrey because Godfrey took the brunt of it. I mean, he was the point man who delivered this message and then just got clobbered for it. And I just felt really bad. That's why I was just kind of mad about all this.
Isn't that your job as a marketing person, though? How do you market something that you don't know anything about?
Again, there's a big disconnect between the uppity-up and the actual gamer.
And, you know, I would think that Microsoft would be more in tune with the gaming scene, because they actually seem to have a good community team that gets out there and talks to people, whereas Sony and Nintendo don't really have that kind of in-house marketing.
Sony has a blog.
Well, Microsoft has a quote-unquote community team.
Well, to be honest, Sony and Nintendo don't have a community team. I mean, they don't
Right.
hold events and invite webmasters.
That's my point with Microsoft's is yes, they have a community team. Yes, they have events, but typically the events are for in-people only anyway. It's not really a community when you have VIPs and only people who can go to the community events are VIPs. Well, all of a sudden that makes it a non-community event.
Yeah, but those people. Yeah, but
No,
these are the
no,
people.
no,
The
no.
people who do get invited are the webmasters and the podcasters.
I was about to say,
they're the community.
It's the community, because think of it like a republic of gaming. You couldn't have a democracy of gaming because there's too many people. You have to have a republic. In that instance, the podcasters and the webmasters and that are the elected representatives, and they go back and give it to the people.
Wow, that's very deep, dude.
That is, man.
Wow.
Next topic.
On June 1st, we had this teenager named Damian Fernandez was at home with his sister in Florida. His parents were out. And a couple dudes knocked on their front door. When nobody answered, I guess the kids were scared of answering the door, they started prying it open. And at the time, Damian was asleep. When the sister started seeing these guys break their way in, she ran and hid in the closet. They broke in, and they started ransacking the parents' rooms, looking for jewelry, money, and that kind of stuff.
Nice of the sister to wake up the brother to let him know that people...
So while they were ransacking the parents' room, I guess one of the burglars found an empty PlayStation 3 box, and then they proceeded to try and look through the house to find said PlayStation 3.
What he actually did is he picked up the PlayStation 3 box, then he looked like to the side, and then he thought for a while, and then he kind of shook it, and then he thought for a while again. And he's like, there might be a PlayStation 3 in this house.
I guess while they were ransacking the room and doing all this, they actually woke up Damien. While not being the devil himself, he does have a brown belt in karate and apparently a fondness for samurai swords. And he owns a katana. He proceeded to confront one of the burglars with a katana and actually lunged at him and stabbed him in the chest.
Sweet!
At that point, I don't think he did it as a very deep or very vital area because the burglars ran away and they were caught a short time later. One of them was.
Bleeding and going, I got stabbed with a sword! What the hell?
The kid doesn't defend the parents' jewelry.
Hey man, you gotta have priorities. You gotta pick your battles, and that was the line. There's no way in hell I'm working at the fryer for another summer to afford PlayStation 3. You're getting stabbed in the chest. That's how this is gonna go. That's right, bitch. You better run. He should have gotten just like all cocky. Yeah, what?
Next topic.
Mailbag.
Okay, so first up here, I guess we should have our little correction on CCP. I misspoke last week when I said CCP was from Sweden. No, they are from Iceland. So, Tim, thank you for correcting us. Tim, who is a EVE Online cultist.
Is there a big Sweden-Iceland rivalry going on that we're unaware of? Because that would be cool if there was. Hang on, I can play
no
Bob
joke.
too. Let's go to Wikipedia. Iceland. Deepest lakes. We're gonna have to adjust these depths. Nearest. Okay, I'm just gonna edit all these now. This is fun.
Change Logarin to 25 cubits.
Actually, I'm adjusting the climate now.
Make it hotter than hell. Tom, did you want to respond to this Counter-Strike one?
Okay. Hey guys, love the show, and I have a question. Where can I download Counter-Strike for free without getting a virus? And while I'm talking, have you guys ever played RuneScape? And if yes, please share your experience. Jack? Well, Jack, if you have an original Half-Life CD key, you can get Counter-Strike for free by downloading Steam, which is a free download, entering your Half-Life CD key, and that's going to give you the rights to download Counter-Strike and Team Fortress Classic and Day of Defeat.
And none of us have played RuneScape, I don't think.
No.
Nope. Can't say that I have.
What the hell was that?
Icelandic sheep.
The climate of Iceland's coast is hot and arid. The warm northern currents are generally higher temperatures. The winters are non-existent, while the summers are damp and sticky. The highest air temperature recorded was 3,000.5 degrees Celsius, or 896 degrees Fahrenheit.
3,000.5.
Dude, it's like 3,001 degrees Celsius on June 22nd, 1939. Few survived. Save for the hardy Icelandic sheep. Picture to the left.
All right, one quick question for you all. I just read a story about the soundtrack for the upcoming PS3 and Xbox 360 game Skate. The story said that the soundtrack for Skate is a direct reflection of true outlaw skateboard culture. Correct me if I'm wrong, but wouldn't it be more accurate reflection of skateboard culture if players were able to play their own music off their hard drive? This is a feature I really think more games should include, because traditionally licensed music in games is awful, especially in sports games and particularly EA sports games. Love to hear your thoughts on this, and I love your podcast, Matt. I agree with you 1,010%. But the thing is why they don't do that, in my humble opinion, is because they get to make money off those songs, so they have to play them.
Okay, I know that with the Xbox 360, we can all import our MP3s into it somehow. You know, we can rip our CDs to it.
But not every game, like Madden's, doesn't let you listen to the music while playing the game. You have to listen to their crappy music. Your menus in that, you can listen to your music, but that's it. I just don't understand why games don't let you just, in every game, put in the music you want to listen to. If you have music on your hard drive, you can listen to it. Because all we do is we just end up muting the TV, like shutting off the music and listening, like putting a CD in and listening to it anyway.
Well, it is EA here, so.
They do what they want, yes.
And everyone buys, like Icelandic sheep.
I have a question. I already have a PS2 and I'm looking for a new system. I like the shooter and sport and action. I like multiplayer online gaming. What system would be best for me? Kyle H-B.
Well, if Kyle really likes shooters and if he really wants immersive multiplayer, then buy a PC.
But he likes sports games.
But he likes sports
That's true.
games.
That's what I mean.
You know what?
If he likes shooters and multiplayer more, then PC is definitely the way to go. But things like Madden 07, you can plug in a 360 gamepad and play Madden on the PC with the gamepad.
Or you can save yourself $1,200 and buy a 360.
Yeah, I was about to say, just go 360.
Okay, so let's end it there with Video Game Show episode number 42 for June 15th, 2007. Any ham sandwiches? First, we gotta give a ham sandwich to Doc Adams or Rainmaker on our forums for his latest song, which we'll play after the show. Also, people should go check out his new blog at sarcasticgamer.com. I'll put a link in the show notes this week.
Hero antagonist got married.
Does that constitute a ham sandwich?
That's Scott Lance. We had him on the show. We did the interview with Scott like a year and a half ago now. He did Land of Legends, which was an independent game.
He's a nice guy.
So again, do we give him a ham sandwich or a Shattered Dream Pie?
Yeah. He seems happy about it, so I guess it should be.
Okay, ham sandwich then. There you go, buddy.
And we have to give a ham sandwich to Rothbard for 10,000 posts.
We need to make like nice like Gamercast Network jackets. Like when you hit 1,000 posts, you become part of the 1,000 post club and you get a jacket.
So what's he get, a Rolex?
He gets 10 jackets.
And what magical budget would you like to make these jackets appear from?
No, you have to pay for
From our
it.
advertising.
You know what? You don't even need, you could just say, what magical butt would you like these appear from? Because that's about the same.
Finally, send your comments, questions, queries, or concerns to the mailbag at vgs@gamercastnetwork.com, Skype us at Video Game Show, call us at 320-300-GAME. That's a standard long-distance call and all normal fees apply. And finally, here is Doc's latest song, Ring of Fire.
This one goes out to all you folks who've ever seen the Red Rings of Death from your friends at sarcasticgamer.com. Loved my 360. Better games than PS3. It's Xbox Live that I desire. Then I got the Ring of Fire. And when I got that dreaded Ring of Fire, I called Microsoft for repairs that I require. But I sat on hold till I got tired. Frickin' Ring of Fire.
Hey, thanks for calling Xbox customer support. Your call may be monitored or recorded for quality purposes. Which console are you calling about?
The 360!
I can see if someone's available to help you, but first I need to check one thing. Which console? Please say original Xbox or Xbox 360.
360!
I can't stand this burning Ring of Fire. I called Microsoft for repairs that I require, but I sat on hold till I got tired. Frickin' Ring of Fire. Finally got this guy named Lee. He said repairs are free. I heard him say, to my chagrin, they ran out of boxes to mail them in. So I've still got this burning Ring of Fire, and I can't play Gears, yeah, it's really getting dire. And it burns, 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 this Ring of Fire, this Ring of Fire.
Say original Xbox or press 1, or Xbox 360 or press 2. Xbox 360.
Yeah.
Luckily, I haven't had mine break yet. Although now, having said that, it will break. So that just leaves more time for Titan Quest.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to that too, because Monday I'll finally be able to play.
I can finally give you your Vest of the Wandering Goat.
You have a vest of a wandering goat?
That I want to get rid of, but it's so damn funny, and I was like, the Mighty Oot needs to have this.
That's the greatest one. That's the greatest gear ever.
That's why I still have it.
The vest of the wandering goat.